Around 24 homes in Anderson County are evacuated after a tanker truck carrying thousands of gallons of fuel crashed into a tree.
A somber day in a southern Kentucky community as a volunteer firefighter and a sheriff's deputy is mourned.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon from WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Dozens of people are out of their homes this midday after a crash in central Kentucky. State police say a tanker truck hauling gasoline overturned on Highway 151 in the Alton community of Anderson County. Old Frankfort Road from US 127 over to Highway 151 is closed because that tanker is leaking fuel. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is live in Anderson County with an update on the situation. It's our top story at noon. Hillary?
Good afternoon. We did just get word here within the past few minutes that crews have stopped that leak, and their focus is now shifting to containing and monitoring what fuel did spill out. Now, around 9 o'clock this morning, emergency management officials say a tanker hauling a mixed load of thousands of gallons of fuel was headed towards Lawrenceburg on Route 151 when, for some reason, the driver lost control, crashing into a tree off of the roadway, causing the contents of his tanker to spill out.
For some unknown reason at this point, it exited the roadway and struck a tree. It did reach the trailer portion of the tractor trailer and was leaking fuel. We know that there was approximately 2,000 gallons of gasoline on the tanker. It's a mixed load. It also weighs 5,500 gallons of diesel.
Right now, multiple crews, including a hazardous materials team from Versailles, are placing booms and other materials around that tanker to help soak up the spilled fuel. Obviously, officials out here on the scene say the highly flammable gasoline is their biggest concern, which is why they have evacuated 20 to 30 homes in the area and have set up a fire suppression unit and perimeter reaching about 1,000 feet each direction in case of a fire or explosion. Now, the driver of that tanker truck was taken to UK hospital, but officials say they do expect him to be okay. As for that tanker truck itself, crews are working to offload whatever fuel is remaining on there. That will then allow environmental crews to get in there and really clean up what all spilled out. And they say, unfortunately, some of that has soaked into the ground. Live in Anderson County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. And public safety officials say this will be a long process. They do not have a time frame at this point for when that area will be cleared.
Police agencies across the state are searching for an inmate who escaped from the Blackburn Correctional Complex in Lexington. The Department of Corrections discovered that Richard Shell was missing just before 9 o'clock this morning. Shell was serving time for a receiving stolen property conviction out of Laurel County. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy is live at the prison now with the latest on the search. Kristen?
Barbara, Richard Shell was here at Blackburn for those convictions out of Laurel County. One, of course, was receiving stolen property. The inmate, investigators say, didn't show up this morning for a head count. Leaders at the correctional complex reported him missing around 8:45. We're told state police are handling the search for him. He's a 42-year-old white man, around 6 feet tall, weighing 200 pounds, with strawberry blonde hair and blue eyes. People living beside Blackburn don't think he'd stick around the area, but they are still keeping a close eye out for anything suspicious.
As you can tell, we don't live too far from the Blackburn, and my grandma's 85 with cancer, so when I go to work, it does make me concerned about her safety.
We did speak with Lexington police, and they say at this time they are not assisting in the search. Live in Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Kristen, thank you. And Shell would have been eligible for parole in March of 2018.
We are learning some more here at midday about a southern Kentucky sheriff's deputy and volunteer firefighter who died in a crash in southern Kentucky near the Tennessee border. The Russell County Sheriff's Department says Deputy Sean Cook was killed in that wreck on US 127 in Clinton County yesterday. WKYT's Phil Pendleton is in Jamestown now with more on how the fallen officer is being remembered. Phil?
Sean Cook worked as a deputy here in Jamestown, working as a court officer, I am told, and also someone who transport prisoners. He did that for about 5 years, but he was also a volunteer firefighter, meaning that much of his free time was spent putting his life in harm's way, fighting fires or working accident scenes. Yet yesterday, Cook was the victim of an accident scene. We are told that he was driving on 127 just across the Kentucky-Tennessee line in Clinton County when, while passing another car, his truck hit a dump truck head-on. Now his brotherhood at the Russell Springs Fire Department are feeling a tremendous loss.
It's quite a shock when we all found out, because this group is extremely close. They're together a lot, even other than fighting fires. So they're really a close group of people, and it's really been a blow to them and hit us all hard.
Cook was also a husband and a father. He was a native of this community. We're continuing to follow this story and learning a lot more about this man. We'll have much more for you later today, but for now, in Russell County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Phil, thank you. And Cook was off duty and driving his personal vehicle at the time of that crash. Well, more than 250 pages of documents related to a bourbon theft ring in central Kentucky have now been released to the public. Those records were unsealed after a Franklin Circuit Court judge ruled that defense attorneys involved in the case did not have a compelling enough reason to prevent public access. The newly released documents provide in-depth details about Gilbert Kurtzinger, the man who prosecutors say led a 9-member organized crime ring that obtained and sold bourbon.
Well, today is looking to be the driest day of the week, with only a small chance of showers to the south and east. But rain chances will increase for everyone as we hit midweek. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live in our First Alert Weather Center now with a look ahead. Micah.
Yeah, and as you were talking about, Barb, south and east, that's your best bet to actually see some of that rain for today. It's not much, and it's not really going to really hit us hard. It's just going to see a few showers here and there, and most of it's very light. So here's the look across the way. Work your way into Menifee County and also sitting there in Morgan County. Heads up West Liberty. You'll be seeing that very shortly. I'd give it another 15 minutes or so. But I want you to look down south. Look into Tennessee. There's still a little bit more juice left over. And let me put this line on here and show you exactly where I expect the rest of the day to actually come into fruition. That's where you're going to be seeing the rain. So this area right through here, you go into the mountainous regions, Howard Rogers Parkway, the end of the Mountain Parkway, that area is where you could see a passing shower or two. That's about it. You go north of that, yeah, there's really not a good chance whatsoever. Already seeing some breaks in the clouds. Still mostly cloudy as we get off into the rest of the afternoon and evening hours. It fades away. Even that rain down toward the southeast, it continues to fade. It's mainly dry there by the evening hours, which is good news. Lexington Legends got a big game going on against West Virginia out at the ball field tonight. It's 38-cent hot dogs. You just can't beat that. So mainly dry. Enjoy it. We'll talk more about this forecast off into the next couple of days coming up.
Yeah, it should be a good evening out there at the ballpark. Thank you, Micah. The next time you take a stroll in downtown Lexington, you might find the city just a little easier to navigate. Here's why. More than 50 new signs are being placed around the city. They give directions and encourage people to walk. And then 64 additional signs are being placed near the UK and Transylvania campuses. They'll direct people toward major landmarks and tell you how long it will take to walk there. So there you go. Get up and move.
A little encouragement.
See
That's
the
great.
city. Well, the face of Kentucky Fried Chicken is getting yet another new look.
KFC has plucked another former Saturday Night Live cast member to portray Colonel Sanders. Comedian Norm Macdonald is the latest person to play the fried chicken icon. Up until 3 months ago, Colonel Sanders had not been the central feature of a promotional spot for decades. McDonald's fellow SNL alum Daryl Hammond has been portraying Sanders, but he got mixed reviews from consumers. Therefore, the change.
All right, a little switch there.